tonight's vid is going to be a bit of a collection update. Like I say, there'll be shout outs and thank yous. It's going to be a bit about the weekend just gone, which was the mini revival, the winter warmer one, and there'll be a tiny bit about this weekend's Doncaster retro gaming sale as well. So where should we start? I'll tell you where we'll start off. I've got these pickups in different piles. But we'll start with the ones that I've had sat here for the longest. I don't think I'd shown any of these in my last video. If I have, apologies, but I think these were the ones that just turned up in the post after that one went out. So there's probably a lot of these games that quite a few of you have seen, and anyone that's in our little circle of friends have probably seen, but anyone that hasn't, here they are. We'll start with this absolute gem of a little specky title. I remember it so well. Holds a lot of nostalgia for me on any format. I've got all of them now, all of the little trio, if you like, and it's Gauntlet 2. Big plastic box anyway on the specky. So I've got the original Gauntlet and the Deeper Dungeons as well. Just got a slight split to the case, but it is complete, where I think my original Gauntlet were missing the instructions, which I'm a bit peeved about, but really happy to have that, because it does mean a lot to me. I can, it just brings back so many memories. I love it. Bit of original Xbox. Had to pay a fair bit for this, if I remember rightly. It's a fair few weeks ago, probably about, might be getting on for a couple of months back actually when I bought it. But Call of Cthulhu, I believe that denotes Australian PAL. I think it cost me going just shy of 20 quid, which, to be fair, is the going rate. It's complete, disc in absolute spot on condition, a mark on it anywhere whatsoever. Manual, barely seen a thumb, to be fair. So I'm really happy to get that. I mean, I know it was quite a bit to shell out, but certainly one that's a nice little ad for the original Xbox. Right, where now? We've got some. By the way, the vast majority of the pickups now is going to be Mega Drive, PAL Mega Drive. That's the way things are going. I'm speaking to a few guys this week, and I've sort of like come to the conclusion now that I'm going to have a serious bash at collecting PAL Mega Drive now, like big time, focusing all efforts on that now. Over recent months I've sort of fallen out for one reason or another with PS2. I've come a little bit jaded with the collection. I haven't been playing on it anywhere near as much as I'd have hoped to say that you've got, literally, well, at least a couple of grand sat on shelves up there. It were just, it just seemed a bit pointless. So what I've decided, I'm going to shift the PS2 collection on to a better home, to somewhere that hopefully will, I'll play these games that they deserve to be played. I spent the best part of at least 2 years sort of putting some serious time and effort and money and all the rest of it into getting a lot of these PS2 titles, which we're quite proud of. What I managed to acquire. but it's the same old story, innit? You just think, it's sat there. I'm not saying that the Mega Drive's going to be any different whatsoever, but I think the bottom line is the Mega Drive holds a lot more nostalgia for me. You know, it's 16-bit. It's just, you know, it's the epitome of gaming, if you like. Whereas the PS2 at you know, I didn't really buy into when it first came out. It was only sort of afterwards that I got into PS2. So I don't think I'll miss it too much. I've kept literally a handful of titles, but the 95% of them will be going to mainly, if I'm being honest, not so much to create the funds for Mega Drive, but to free up some space, because I've got zilch space, so it's literally a case of clearing shelves to put some Mega Drive stuff in. It's that simple. Anyway, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that in a minute. Onwards with the Mega Drive. So these three of them were, I think these are eBay pickups. We've been talking and it's taking Retro Liberty's last stream, I think it was, where we'd mentioned favourite sports titles of all time, and I stuck my neck out and said this, which for me is John Madden, American football, the original one. This is one that me and a guy called Dave Grant played to death in his little box room bedroom. Literally peanuts now. I think it goes for about £5 or £6, something like that. It's got an offensive weapon of a manual. You can club someone to death with that quite easily. Box has seen better days. If I show you it like that, it's been a little bit squished, but it's one of these Electronic Arts dodgy ones, missing the hang tab unfortunately, but it is complete. So just really chuffed to get that back in. I've owned it before, I've probably owned it 2 or 3 times over the years, but this time it's staying. It was just a nice little add to get back in the collection. Another pretty dirt cheap game, fairly nondescript title, but nonetheless good to have in, is MiG-29 Fighter Pilot. This is in pretty damn good shape actually. Got Super 8 Meg. You've got the hanging tab. No, I don't think I've ever actually played this game, to be honest. Cartridge is in absolutely super condition now. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really good, really good. But unfortunately, it's the manual that's suffered somewhat, as in the covers taken a bit of a beating, and at some stage, and obviously got damage somewhere along the line, because the rest of the pages look absolutely fine, more or less, anyway. So that was a bit of a shame, but like I say, the box is in absolutely great shape, and so is the cartridge, so what a bit of a shame. But again, we're only talking a £5. It won't much whatsoever. This one I've not heard of particularly as well. It's another Electronic Arts one, and it's Starflight. Now, I've been looking at this since I've got this, and I managed to get it for a half decent price, because I got this for about £7.50, I think. It tends to go for quite a bit more. If I could be wrong, but it looked to me that it'd been going for 15 plus this. Again, complete. Sorry for a bit hoarse. Throat's on its way out at the moment. Complete. Manual's in good shape, as is the cartridge. The box isn't too bad. It feels like this has never even had a hang tab. It's smooth as a baby's bum on there. There's no sort of rough edge, so. And it's like, it's a different type of plastic. It's still the electronic art style case, but it's almost like a harder plastic, yeah, different type of plastic. So again, really happy to have that one. So that were the 3 eBay ones. In fact, that were the ones I'd shown you there. That were all eBay, which, like I say, from about the last 6 weeks going back. Now, before we move on to Revival, because there are quite a few pickups from Revival, I've got these 3. From David Jameson on Retro Realm on Facebook, one of the Facebook groups on there. So if, incidentally, that's the guy that does the OG Xbox mods. If you're interested, like the one, I don't know if you've seen on some of my previous vids with the puts the LED lighting in, that sort of thing. Really good, really talented guy. Knows his stuff, knows them inside and out. So yeah, David Jameson, if you're interested. Can't remember, I think they're about 70, 80 quid, something like that, but he puts in a real big uprated fan and pretty juicy hard drive in there as well. And obviously you've got all the emulation on and what have you. So, but he also, aside from doing his Xbox stuff, he sells a hell of a lot of Mega Drive stuff. And for whatever reason this week, I didn't read into the reasoning behind it. It just all of a sudden was shifting 400 Mega Drive titles. And obviously anyone that knows these groups, it's, you know, it's like a mad rush in it. As soon as it's listed, you haven't got time to mess about whatsoever. You've got to quickly look at the pics, see which ones you want, and then just get your comments in for the you know, first come first serve sort of thing. And there was some right titles in there. Blue Spines fucking galore. You name it, it were there. There was some real heavyweight titles. And I just literally grabbed one of the pictures as quick as I could, and I spotted these 3, all 3 on my list anyway. I've got a list as long as your arm now for Mega Drive, and I knew these 3 were definitely on there. One of them I'd nearly bought at Lee's Deals a few months back, but that particular occasion he weren't flexible on the price, so I left it then. I kicked myself because I'd gone back then a couple of weeks later and the bastard had gone. Having said that, I'm glad I did wait, because this is fucking minty fresh. Absolute minter. Now, I think, to be honest, with Dave's stuff, all his stuff's in good nick. It really is. I think, I'm fairly certain he's a collector anyway, but he don't have any shite. He's very professional seller on there. Quick to post, you know, he'll do you good deals, miles cheaper than eBay. It is really, it's worth it. So, 3 titles here, all, well, they are getting up that way anyway. Price, you're not your upper echelon quite or anything like that. Probably middle tier games, I suppose. But this condition of this outrun. So this was the one, like I said, I'd missed out down at Lee's place. But look at this. So you've got hanging tab. If you can get this box pawn here for you. But that, I'm not being funny. Box wise, that's about as good as you're gonna get, but it gets better, because look at that. Can you see?
pretty spot on. Pretty spot on, to be fair. Not going to get a better copy than that. What did I pay? I'll just show you the other two first. So I think Outrun's going. Let's face it. I think Outrun goes for 40 quid all day long. Does it not, Stu? Does it? It's got to do on it. Another 35, 40 quid game. This has crept up. This. Yeah, you know, you're looking at 35 quid at least. That's, you know, if you can get it complete. But this again is in fucking amazing condition in its Ghostbusters. You know, you've got hanging tab again, but I can't emphasise enough the condition of these cases. I mean, we all know how easy now Mega Drive boxes are to get damaged. He might have done case swaps. I don't know, but look at that manual again. You see that? Barely seen a thumb. And cartridge. Looking brilliant. And the last one, now this is missing the hanging tabs. We've got a slight reduction in condition wise on the box. And slightly lower on the manual, but I'm not going to moan, to be fair. Ranger X. Okay. Another I don't know. I haven't checked. I'm guessing. I'm sure it's about 35, 40 quid. It's got to be. But pretty damn good condition, to be fair. I mean, there's a few creasing and head, you know, curling starting a little bit on manual, but really chuffed with them. Absolutely chuffed with them. So yeah, I mean, it's just starting to go there. Look, on spine starting to split a little bit there, but really happy with them. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for them, but trust me, it were a good deal. It were a good deal with this. Significantly lower than what I would have paid on eBay. And I'd have been spinning the fucking CX roulette forever trying to get a manual, and I'm too impatient. So I were happy. I were happy to shell out. He won peanuts. I'm not saying he's going to do one for peanuts. He's not daft. He knows the value of stuff. But you will get it cheaper than eBay. That's for sure. Right, let's get on to Revival, because the whole weekend, the Revival weekend, well, when I say weekend, started Friday tea time, right? Yeah. So I had said to Gareth, the man cave, that I'd drive to this one. I think we've agreed to take it in turns with the driving to these events. So I'd said I'm happy to drive down to Walsall for that one. However, on the Friday we'd arranged to, out of the goodness of his heart, for Pete, old school, right face, to let us stay over at his place, and it were amazing. It were amazing. So we drove down Friday night, and we promptly chucked the bags in and went straight back out. It was just that I think the only problem is because it was quite late on, and we didn't quite have as much time as we'd have liked. But bless Pete, he took us to a local craft brewery, come bar. I'm going to try to splice some random photos in, and maybe a little footage. It's only going to be minimal, if I can, that is, at the end of this vid. just a few random picks. But yeah, it was brilliant. So Pete actually lives in Burton on Trent. I think it's about 25, 30 minutes away from north of Walsall. It's a bit just after sort of Derby, is Burton on Trent. So a bit sort of between the both. So yeah, we just had a few drinks in there. Got really pally with the one of the barman in there. We just had a cracking night. And then we went back to Pete's house. We brought down some beers anyway. By which time, when we got back to Pete's, Big Mike and his friend Marcus was there. So Big Mike, without further ado, Retro'd arrived. He'd driven all the way up from Bristol. So
Mike from Right Face, he's an idiot.
On the Friday, we were hoping to get down there early afternoon. We were going to have a right tour, but I'm sure we can do it again. I'm sure we can plan something else going forward. So the only problem is, you see, apart from me and Gareth, we all live so far apart. I mean, you're talking a good, excuse me, 2/3 of the country away from each other, so it is a little bit difficult. But good times had by all. So on the Saturday, this is how this panned out. So I'd arranged prior to, I'd sold an Xbox One to a guy on eBay, who lived in Walsall. So I'd had that in the car boot, so I said, right, I'm going to get up a bit earlier, set off, drop this off. The plan then was to meet back up, we're going to have breakfast and then go to the event. Got a little bit lost, fucking sat-nav shoved me onto M6 toll road, which I wasn't happy about, so I ended up paying £4.10 for one junction. Fucking absolutely fuming about that. I was still a bit ropey from the night before. Anyway, I eventually found it, and the guy literally lived, I'd say, 5 minutes away from the venue itself. So I'd said to them, look, I says, how long about in Walsall? And I'll meet you guys there at the event. So I promptly took myself to a Witherspoons and had a big fry up and a bring me round pint. And then we eventually hooked up at random place, like a community centre. When you were driving into it, I thought sat-nav were having a laugh. I thought, in the middle of a council estate here, where's it taking us? But sure enough, it just popped up this community centre out of nowhere. And you know what I mean? There were a few sort of deflated people. When you saw inside it, I think what we did is we made the mistake of like comparing it too much to the Bescott Stadium, the main revival one that in the summertime. It was never that anyway. It wasn't billed as that. It was just like a mini version of it. So I think it really, in hindsight, it was easy to sort of be a little bit underwhelmed by it, if you like. You see, we've got to remember we're all pretty hungover. We're fucking red hot in there, really red hot, and it did. If I'm being brutally honest, it did have an air of claustrophobia to it at certain points, especially when in the throng of the people. So we just sort of gravitated, towards a bar. But you know what? For such a smallish little venue, you couldn't have done much more with it. You had all the systems there. Not many sellers, but the ones that were there, they were, they're doing some cracking deals with some good games on show. The bar beers were pretty cheap, and like I say, systems wise, they had everything out there. And this, like we were saying on the day, so much trust goes in. I mean, they had everything. They had absolutely everything. Really sort of rare. They had like Virtual Boy. I remember seeing a fucking Atari Falcon. It was just mental to see these systems. So I personally thought it were alright. I did enjoy it. Admittedly, it'd be nicer in a more area sort of space where you can have a bit more sort of breathing space, if you like, fresh air. But it were alright. It were alright, and I can't complain because I got some cracking deals, as you'll see here. So these first three, I knew I'd forget someone, and I have. It's just sprung into my mind now. Can't remember his name. Someone will put in the comments. I ended up buying 4 games off him. Like I say, I bought these 3 first. Sound lad, I think he's from Hales Owen. Always goes to events, always does your cracking deals. I've bought every time I see him, I buy something off him. He sort of knows me now, just on face terms. He has prices on everything, but he's one of these where his mentality is just to clear stock. He told me that he'd recently bought out another shop, so he'd had like another surplus, all this second shop stock to get shut of. So you're happy just to clear quite a lot, and he had some belting tiles as well. Incidentally, under his table he had a load of pretty heavy PS2 titles as well, which I thought absolutely fucking typical. Now I'm getting shut. But anyway, I'm digressing. So these first 3 I got off him. So I'll show you what he had them priced up at, but he didn't charge me that. He did as a deal for these 3. So Crackdown, hanging tab present, box in ace condition, as is manual and cart. Really good nick, really good. He had this priced up at, you see that, 20 quid. I'll tell you what I paid at the end. So that one, Flashback, he had that priced up at 10. Again, hanging tab there. This is absolutely fantastic condition actually, is this one, can you say that? Yeah, really good condition is that one. Did that for a £5, that worked out at a £5 that. And then the Immortal, another Electronic Arts one. The only problem with this is it's complete, just that the manual's missing just the cover. Everything else, the rest of the manual's there, and the tabs that hold it in place have gone as well, but don't matter, not fussy. Cart's in good condition. So what 20 out of 25, so he did that down at 10. I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, 10. I'm sure he did all 3 for 20 quid. I'm fairly sure he did. And that will, as soon as I got there, that wasn't even end of day. That's what I mean. Now this one he did a fucking sterling deal on. I confirmed this with Big Mike, because I hadn't even heard of this title at this point, and he went, oh yeah, it's about 30-35 quid on CEXs. I said, well, he's got it up for 20, Bubba and Sticks. So I thought, well, if he's got it for 20, there's going to be some movement on that. Bit of edgeware look on spine, can you see? So he had got it up for 20, look. Got him down to 15 quid. So whichever way you look at it, and it's good nick inside. I mean, look at that. That's really good nick inside. Really good. Really good. Whichever way you look at it, I got a cracking deal on that. Really good. I'd looked subsequently. I'd looked on eBay at some prices, completed listings. It does fluctuate quite wildly. It does get odd sort of title, that really up and down. Right, so as soon as I got there, I knew So to Stuart, I know we'd arranged prior that he were going to flog me a load of retro gamer mags. So he'd said, oh, I've got all these, what numbers are you after? So I said anything below 141. So I can't show you. He dropped this fucking bag in my hands and all that, built on purpose because he knew it weighed a bit twat. But it's literally a full bag. Did me a cracking deal on that. I think he said we're 31 mags or 35, might even count 31 or 35 mags for 30 quid. And I know retro gamers not everyone's cup of tea, but I love them personally, just for referencing the games, the amount of games that I've discovered through this magazine. You just won't believe. I love it personally. Still buying them now. Just got today's actually came through the post. So that was deal number one. So thanks, Stuart, you're a legend. But not only that, he did me another deal potentially even better than that. So when I got there, Danester83, I'd said, oh, he's put these 2 games aside for you. Wants to know if you're interested. I says, absolutely, just name the price. And the games were Mickey Mouse World of Illusion. This is complete, hanging tab there. A nice honest copy. I don't know what the story with this one is. I don't know if he's got a duplicate somewhere along the line, or he's got a minter that's come along. I don't know what the deal was with that. But that was the game, the first one. Now I don't know if you watch his videos regularly or not, but he'd mentioned this one, that James Buster Douglas. I think he'd managed to get one complete or a game better condition than this. Fairly scarce, this, to be honest. It's not as common as what you'd think. So he added that in as well. He did me a deal with the magazines in these 2. Apologies, I can't remember what it was, but rest assured it were good. It were a good deal. So thanks, Stuart, mate. You're a ledge. You're an absolute ledge, mate. I won't forget that deal. A good one. And while we mentioned Danester83, another legend for sure. He gifted me this. So I think in one of my recent pickup vids I'd said that I got Lords of Midnight on the Specky. So he says, oh, there you go, you can have that, Doom's Dark Revenge. It's a bit squished, but do you know what? Absolutely fucking awesome. I'm going to attempt to straighten this out somehow, and I'm going to have them side by side on the shelf because the artwork is absolutely phenomenal. It's complete. It's all there. Like I say, it's just a little bit played with condition, but cheers, mate. Honestly, to just give someone that, it's something else, is that? It really is. So thank you for that. And not forgetting my bestie, Big Mike. In one of his recent vids, he'd mentioned this game Arrow Flash. So this is the copy. This is his PAL copy. So he had the Jap one. So it's without manual. We're not bothered. Did he get out? What's the story with this? Did he get another copy of it complete? Can't remember. Anyway, he's let me have it for fucking next to nothing, shall we say. You know, it's something to know. And at the end of the day, again, it's another 30 plus, 35 plus complete, is this. So just to get it in collection, you know, regardless of whether it hasn't got the manual or not, it's just absolutely brilliant. So cheers, Mike. Cheers, mate. Top lad. Right, have we mentioned everyone? Oh, by the way, shout out to Dylan Craven. He's a really nice guy. I know he watches all our vids. Really interested in, you know, in all things retro. He, bless him, he trained in from Liverpool. I don't think he drives, so it's a pretty big asking to get to Walsall from Liverpool, but he'd done it. So hats off to that guy. Came straight up to me, first person that's recognised me from Tube, so that one to tick off the list. Really nice guy. So that's Dylan Craven. And I finally met Cybersnake 7J. So good to see you, mate. I don't know if you're going to Donny on Saturday or not, but if not, I'm sure I'll catch up with you further down the line. So it were nice to finally meet you. Right, I think I've mentioned just about everyone. So before I go, just to say, I've got one more pickle. We can't forget Black Friday. The only thing I bought on Black Friday, everyone's clambering to empty the wallets for something. Let's buy another 50-inch telly, fuck it. The only thing I got was this for 25 quid. Camo PS4 controller. So I got this I nearly bought it from Argos, but I got it from, where the fucking hell did I get it from? This is old age, my memory's going. I can't remember. It was a Black Friday deal for 25 quid. Jumped straight on it because I know the camo one particularly sells out quick. It was a cross between this or the orange one. There's a bright orange one they do now, but I've wanted this one for a while. So the reason why I've got another controller now, I can put away the God of War controller now because I wasn't happy about using it, as my daily usage one. So I can put that away and use that one now. So that we're happy for that. So yeah, Black Friday, I got a little bit of that. Right, yeah. So this Sunday, Doncaster. When I'd mentioned about moving on the PS2 collection, Dana, bless him, and between him and Tootie had said, right, I'd mentioned I wanted to shift a load of my PS2 stock. I'd give them first shouts, see if they're interested in any titles, and they said, why don't you try moving on at Doncaster? So very kindly, Dana said I can shove this box. I'll show you here. Look, hang on, bear with. Oh, sorry. This is the box of PS2 titles. Okay. Believe it or not, there's roughly, in what I've paid, I'm not saying I'm going to recoup it back in any shape or form, about 1,600 quid there. And that's not even, there's just a percentage of it. I've got some on Retro Realm, if you're interested. These are like the upper echelon. I mean, if just at random, you get what I'm saying. Okay. So these will be on sale at Doncaster. I'll do good prices. My aim is to sell. I won't let them go for nothing, but I will sort of reduce it. See, I'm looking at these now. I'm already fucking regretting it. It really is like the dog's bollocks. Is this lot? This is like the best of the best for me. King Shadow Arts original. What else we got? Oh god. That's, I mean, the subsistence. Oh. No, it's got to go. They've got to go. Just like I say, just to make the space. So yeah, so I'm gonna. I've offered to help Dana, and I'll keep him fed and watered throughout the day as a favour on his stall. So if you want to pop along, even if you don't buy anything, just say hi. It'd be nice to meet anyone that watches. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's this Sunday. Like I say, if you can make it, it'd be great to see you guys.
Where are we?
I don't know, who am I?
Where are we?
You're in a dark room. Careful, there's orcs near. Take this. In front of you, there's a table with some bread. Hi, Peter.
I won't put you in it, Pete. Don't worry. I was conscious of that. Don't worry. I won't have any sound on mine anyway. You like that?
Yeah. Somebody knew what happens to his green card, doesn't it?
It was more for
Details, sir?
systems, Joe.
Yeah.